Hi, here we have to find the range of this function fx, which is equal to this whole thing. Now the function is basically a quadratic upon another quadratic. If we had only one quadratic in the numerator, we know how to calculate the range of a quadratic, minimum or maximum value. If we have quadratic only in the denominator, that would have been also easy. But we have a quadratic in the numerator as well as denominator. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to first simplify this expression such that we only have one quadratic expression. So how do we do that? If you look at the coefficients of x square and x, here the coefficient is 1, here the coefficient is 2, here the coefficient is 2 and it is 4 here. So the coefficients of the quadratic here are twice of the coefficients over here. So what we can do is let's multiply and divide this by 2. Okay. So this 2 gets multiplied over here. This becomes 2x square plus 4x plus 8 upon, and let's keep this by 2 separately. So upon we have 2x square plus 4x plus 9. So we have this f of x is equal to this. Now these two quadratics almost look similar except for 8 and 9. There is an 8 here, there is a 9 here. If it was a 9, the question would have been so simple, right? So let's do one thing. Let's create a 9 here. How would you create a 9 here? Let's add 1 and subtract 1. So this comes out to be half of 2x square plus 4x plus 8 plus 1 is 9 minus 1 divided by 2x square plus 4x plus 9. Okay. So now this becomes half of, now we can split it. So we have this whole thing upon this whole thing, which come out to be 1 minus 1 upon this whole quadratic, minus 1 upon 2x square plus 4x plus 9. So f of x effectively gets simplified to half of 1 minus 1 upon 2x square plus 4x plus 9, right? And now let's try to figure out the range of fx. Now for f of x to be maximum, we have 1 minus something. So this will be maximum when this whole thing, the thing that is getting subtracted, is minimum, right? Now when will this expression be minimum? So this expression is 1 upon a quadratic. So when the value of this quadratic is maximum, this expression will be minimum and this whole expression will be maximum. So for f of x to be maximum, the value of this quadratic should be maximum. Similarly, for f of x to be minimum, the value of this quadratic should be minimum, right? So basically what we need to focus now is the maximum and the minimum value of the quadratic. So we have 2x square plus 4x plus 9. Let's try to figure out the maximum and the minimum value of this quadratic. Now since the coefficient of x square is 2, the maximum value of this quadratic will be infinity, right? Now what will be the minimum value? For minimum value, if you remember from the quadratics class, the minimum value will occur when x equals to minus b by 2a. So minus of 4 by twice of a, which is minus 1. So minimum value will be when x is equal to minus 1. And what will be the minimum value? Simply substitute x equals to minus 1 over here. So twice of minus 1 whole square is 2 plus 4 into minus 1 is minus 4 plus 9. So the minimum value will be minus 2 plus 9, which is 7. So the minimum value of this quadratic will be 7 and the maximum value is infinity. So now f of x maximum will be when this quadratic is maximum, which is half of 1 minus 1 upon infinity. 1 upon infinity is 0 and 1 into, so this will be 0 here. So we'll have only 1 here, half of 1 is half. Now obviously f of x will never be equal to half because maximum value will never be infinity, right? Infinity, we never include infinity. So f of x will be always less than half and not equal to half. It will always be less than half. Next is the minimum value. F of x minimum will be when the quadratic is minimum, which is half of 1 minus the minimum value of this quadratic is 7. So this comes out to be 1 minus 1 upon 7, which is half of 1 minus 1 upon 7 is 6 by 7. This becomes 3 by 7. So the minimum value of the function is 3 by 7, and this will be included because f of x can attain minimum value of 7. So the range of fx will be, the minimum value of f of x is 3 by 7, which is included, and the maximum value is half, which cannot be included because of infinity. So f of x is less than or equal to 3 by 7, sorry, greater than or equal to 3 by 7, but less than half. So the correct answer here is option A. The range of fx is option A over here. Thank you.